What's the deal, YouTube? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Tank be Choppin, and I'm coming at y'all with another haircut tutorial. Now in this cut, we're gonna use all the detachable blades. We're not using no guards, just detachable blades only, and we're gonna give him a bald fade with the 1.5 on top, and then we're gonna add some enhancements to his edge up and his beard. Let's get it. So my first step is I got my number 1.5 blade on my Andes Supras. And as you can see, I'm cutting the top down. That's going to be the desired length for this haircut. So I'm just going over the top against the grain and across the grain, brushing the hair the way the hair lays. That way we can see how this is going to look with the finished product. See, these clippers right here, they're really good for debulking. But sometimes they leave a little bit of straight hair, so you can see I'm going over it, a good amount of time just to make sure I get all that hair down. Alright, so now I'm starting with my initial bald guideline, and I'm starting with my 5 zeros. And I'm just coming up to where I want the fade to begin, so he is getting a semi-high fade. So I'm coming right where his point would be. And I'm just balding everything else out. You do want to be careful with these clippers when you're coming behind the ear. There has been times where I've nicked people behind the ear because I don't pull the ear down, and sometimes the back of those blades, the moving blade tends to catch them behind the ear and it gives them a slight little nick or a little cut. So you want to make sure you're being careful when it comes to doing any work behind the ear with these clippers. Alright, now that that's done, I'm taking my Babyliss Shaver, and I'm coming up right to where we left off with that bald guideline. Only difference is when I get closer to that line, I'm not putting as much pressure that way I don't leave too harsh of a line. Now, it may or may not leave a line, but that's okay because we'll take care of that with either the trimmers or we might use the razor going down to take care of that bottom line. Now that is taken care of, we're starting with our next guideline. I actually got my OA on the clipper, and I'm coming up about 3/4 of an inch to an inch, using a slight flick out motion when I get closer to the top. Now I got my 1A on there, and I'm gonna start fading that top line in, and as you can see, the fade is already it's coming together pretty good already. And I'm just coming right above that parietal ridge, and I'm still flicking out. The good thing about these clippers is these guards or these metal blades, they pretty much fade into each other pretty good. So if you have all the blades, they'll do a good fade if you can do them properly. Now I got my number 1 guard. My number 1 blade, and I'm just taking out that bottom line where I saw a little bit of darkness between the OA and the 1A. Now I got my 000 zeros, and I'm trying to get rid of that bottom line. So as you can see, I'm still using the flick out motion because I do not want to create another guideline. Now I got my 5 zeros on there again, and this is the same blade that I use to create my bald guideline. So I'm using that to try to get that bottom line out. And if this doesn't work, then I'm going to use my trimmers and my razor. Now I have my OA on there again. I'm just doing some slight detail work. And now here I'm using my trimmers to get out that bottom line. And remember, I said if this doesn't work, then I will use my shaver going downward. And that's what I'm doing right here. I got the shaver, and I'm just barely tapping that line going down. So now we're starting on this edge up. We're starting in the middle of this head, creating an initial guideline, and then we're just moving our way over. I'm just following that line, moving over slightly every little tap. And as you can see, my boy is thinning a little bit right here in his hairline, so we're gonna add some enhancements to make sure we darken that up a little bit. Now I'm just hitting up his beard a little bit, making sure we get some nice crisp lines. And you know, this part of the haircut is pretty self-explanatory. Like, I really don't explain too much when I'm doing beard work. It's one of those things you can't really there's really no guidelines to it. You just got to do what you got to do to make the beard look good. You know, everyone has a different preference. There's no initial guideline or whatever to do. You just got to make it look nice, you know. And there's so many shapes of beard you can do, so you just really want to have a good consultation with the client. Make sure that they explain to you exactly what they want and you understand fully. That way you can give them basically the beard trim they're trying to get. So obviously you can see he likes his beard nice and full and thick, so I'm trying to leave it as thick as I can, but still making it look nice and crisp. Alright, so now that part is done, I'm just fading the beard into the haircut. So I got my number 1A right now, and I'm just blending that top part, and then I'm gonna get a smaller blade. So from the 1A it would be a 1. And that's what I'm using right here, using that 1 closer to the top of the beard, and then I may use an OA or a triple aught to get that top line out. When I say triple aught, that's the 3 zeros, in case you're not too familiar with the term that I'm not too familiar with the terms that I'm using. Remember guys, if y'all have any questions about these blades, you can feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I know a lot of people don't use these blades anymore. I still do every now and then, just because, you know, I like to switch things up. I told you before, I like to use a lot of different clippers in my haircuts, just because I like keeping things fresh, and I would much rather give y'all a bunch of different content than the same content over and over and over. Alright, so back to the haircut. So as y'all can see, now I'm just picking out his beard, making sure all those hairs are pulled out, and that way we can take care of any extra stray hairs or any flyaways that he has. He doesn't want to take any actual length off, he just wants to clean it up. That's what we're gonna do. And I have my 000s on my Andis Supras, and I'm just taking care of all those extra hairs. I'm just freehanding his beard right now. Alright guys, so now I'm finna add some enhancements. I did add some to his hairline, but I was in the way, so I didn't add that footage in. But now I'm just adding it to his beard. As you can see, I'm using a card to make sure I get those lines nice and straight. And I'm just spraying a little bit of enhancement, and then I'm backing up and seeing how it looks. And And most of the time I use either the Tune 45 enhancement or the Slay Sauce. So if you want any info on that, just hit me up and I'll give you the info on those enhancements. Alright, so now what we did to the left side, we're doing to the right side, and I'm doing the exact same thing. I started off with the initial guideline, created it, and then I'm using my 1A, and then I'm just fading my way down from the 1A to my number 1, and then I'm probably going to take out that bottom line with my 000s. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Sergio. I've known this man for over 15 years, maybe even 20 years. I've known him for a long time, man. He used to live right across the street from me, and I used to actually practice on this dude's head back in the day. He used to have a lot more hair, trust me. Shout out to my boy Sergio though, man. I appreciate you, man. Alright, so as y'all can see, now I'm fading in that beard. Doing the same thing I did on the other side. Started with a longer guard or a longer blade, and I just worked my way down. Now I'm freehanding this beard. And for all y'all watching right now, I would like for y'all to do me a big favor. Can you please smash that like button? And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it, guys. I'm still trying to put out a lot of content, even though we're going through these times and we're still quarantined. I still got some videos in the vault. I've just been holding on to them, man. Like as a YouTuber or as an aspiring YouTuber, I recorded a lot of videos just in case, like I still have some left over. Same thing with my Instagram. I got a lot of pictures that I just have just in the vault, just sitting there waiting to be posted. Y'all let me know what y'all think about these videos. If y'all like them, leave a comment and like it. And if you don't, you could unlike it, or I'm sorry, you could thumbs down the video. It's all good. I ain't even tripping. Alright guys, so as y'all can see, I'm hitting up that edge up, and I'm just straightening this side, making sure it's parallel to the opposite side. So as you can see, that line's coming along nice, but once I hit it with this enhancement, it's gonna look a little nicer. And remember guys, that's the point of enhancements. You don't want to add too much, and you don't want to make it look fake. I try to do just enough to where it just enhances what it already has, and it doesn't look too fake. Some people like that look, I don't, and I'm not sure if any of my clients do, but I just try to make their stuff look nice and crisp, especially in situations like this where it's a little, the hairline's receding or they're a little lighter. Alright, so I just did the same thing to the back. I just faded it up, and as you can see, now I got the hot towel on my boy. I'm finna start shaving, just shaving that edge up. But yeah, remember guys, like I said before, if you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions below. I'll get to you as soon as I can. If you have any questions about these detachable blades, I am using the Andis Supras, and all the blades that I have are ceramic blades, except for my number 1 blade. It was the blade that came with it, and it's not a ceramic blade. But I think I have all that. I'll put that all in my description, so you can click on it and then you can get it from Amazon. If that's something you're interested. These clippers are a little more expensive, but like I said, they're good for taking down bulk, and I just like using them every now and then just to switch things up. Alright guys, this is the finished product. We did a number 1.5 on the top with the metal blade. Bald fade with the razor. Lined up his beard, trimmed it down, added some enhancements. Y'all let me know what y'all think of the cut. If y'all like it, smash that like button, and if y'all don't, go ahead and thumbs down this video. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. Until next time.